we have the Christmas decorations. Oh, you can't see my present. I got a really cool little like light up Christmas present, but you can't see it, so that was pointless. But it looks cute and I can tell, so it's fine. But today I thought I would have a go at trying to design a logo using Illustrator for the iPad. So if you haven't seen, I have done a couple of videos using Illustrator for the iPad. I will leave those linked in the description. It's very different to the desktop version of Illustrator, and there are some features missing. So I have been kind of reluctant to film this video because I know it's not going to be quite as smooth as I would like it. But I figured I would film my struggles and I can show you sort of how I go about designing a logo. To be honest, I haven't got too much of a plan. I've just saved some things on Pinterest and I'm going to roll with it, so you can see all the fumbling as we go forward. But I am firstly going to show you what I have saved on Pinterest. So if I switch to my screen, you can see that I have a few different ideas. So I'm going to go with these ones across the top. I want to do some kind of circle logo. So I'm thinking kind of blocky. I want to try and do the draw on a path thing where I'm going to like draw around the circle. I'm sure there's probably more in here. You'll see different ideas that I've got from previous redesign videos. But yeah, I'm going to attempt something like this, and I think I'm going to do it for my made up company, Happy Home. If you don't know what Happy Home is, I did a whole Illustrator course on how to create your own branding from start to finish, including like web graphics, banners, business cards, lots of things. And I did a fictional brand called Happy Home. So I figured that would be quite good for me to do on here because I don't think I actually did any circle logos for that. So I think what I'm going to do first is open up the images that I've saved and put them into my artboard. In fact, I want this artboard to be landscape. Shall I just drag it? Yeah, cool. Now, my biggest gripe with Illustrator for the iPad is that you cannot rotate the artboard. Like, I'm so used to using Procreate, and I'm presuming a lot of other applications on iPad do the same, where you can literally spin the artboard around with your fingers. You can't do that on this. So if I end up having to like twist my iPad, that's why. Although there are a lot of really good things on this application, so I am very impressed, but I still would sway towards using it on my laptop. But I feel like as a starting point for designing something, it's quite cool to have the like fluidity, the smoothness, is fluidity a word? I don't know. But I like that I can draw it by hand and then sort of send it to Illustrator and it's already a vector. I don't have to mess around with image trace. Let's insert an image, see if I can remember how to do this. So in here, photos, and we have my recent images. I like that it's in a little pop-up thing. Can we select multiple? No, that's fine. So we have this image. Can I crop it? Shall I just leave it like this? Oh, it's locked already. That's pretty cool. And I'm just going to get up the 3 images. I want to crop it. Maybe I'm being blind. Maybe that's something they haven't put in. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being blind or it's something that they've not included. I'll leave it at that. And then the final one is a bit more simple, and this one is the failsafe option. So if I find it completely impossible to try and do something this fancy, we're just going to fall back and do like a line version. That's my tactical plan. So first job, create some circles. So there is the circle tool, and I think if I remember, I hold this little thing here and it'll lock it into place. Yeah, and if I hold it on the outside, it'll draw it from the center. So I want a perfect circle. Oh, I need to fill it with something so I can actually see it. Let's put the outline just to black for now, just so I can see what I'm doing. And that can be the outside. So I'm going to go with something like this to begin with, I think, with like the different colours. So we'll kind of hopefully make something of it. So I guess we have to duplicate, which is here. So it's duplicated, and then I'm going to resize from the center. So then we have 2 circles. I will need some more circles moving forward, but we'll go with this so far. So I'm going to do the text first. So up here, text, type on a path. I knew we had it somewhere. So the type on the path tool is actually down here, which seems a bit strange, but I do want to type on this path. So how do I go about activating that. This is all about experimentation, it seems. So first, let's type something in there. So I'm just going to put happy home. Am I blind again, or did nothing happen? Type. Aha! That's what I wanted. Okay, happy home. Maybe it was just glitching. Make you bigger and put you up here. Now I want to type on a path. Maybe I select things. Is this how I select things? And the text, and then go on to here. Yes, type on a path. Cool, we worked it out. I didn't need to use Google. So now I can adjust these sliders. I wonder if I use this tool. I must have to use a direct selection tool or the text tool. Could I move this? It's all right, didn't want to move it anyway. So I want to center the text in the center like that, but I want to be able to move it. Okay, cool. I just wasn't clicking it right. This is different. So these will just let me adjust it around. I guess I'm gonna have to just guesstimate where the middle is, which is a bit weird. And then I want it in capitals, and I haven't even thought about what font I want it in. Something cute, maybe that. I'm gonna keep it quite simple. This is all mainly about me working out what on earth I'm doing. I quite like that actually. It's a little bit different, a bit like different compared to what I'd usually do. Let's just resize it a tad and deselect. I'm okay with that. Then underneath, I'll probably end up having to change this font so I can get like a smaller version without it looking a bit crazy. I need to think of a slogan. Happy home, design and interiors. That'll do. Design and interiors. Cool. This doesn't like my fingerprint. It likes me to use the pen. Then we're going to select both, so hold this little thing. In fact, I've not even got a circle yet. I've just got that existing one. So I need to click on the circle, I need to duplicate it, and I need to resize it from the center again. And we'll have it about there. Then I select this and the text, and I want to type on a path. You know what? It's a whole lot easier when you actually know what you're doing. So this time I want the text to be on the inside of the circle. And on Illustrator for my laptop, you just drag these in. So let's see how this goes. Yay, okay. Ooh. That was a lot easier than I kind of was worried about. Cool, so that was just how I expected it to be. But I do want it to be a different font. Maybe I'll go with Bebas. Bebas Nu. And we will adjust the tracking. And as predicted, I don't like this font anymore. Prefer that one. So I just need to make the space for it a little bigger so it fits. I'm like upset that it's not snapping to place. Usually Illustrator is quite good at like guessing and telling you, not even guessing, literally telling you where things are in the middle. Maybe I need like smart guides or something turning on. We'll see. But so far, pleasantly surprised. Font wise, not really loving it, but we'll keep ploughing on, shall we? Let's just see how this is gonna go. So we've got the basic fonts. I'm gonna get a picture of like a cartoon house or something from Google and I'll image trace it. Basically, I'll trace it myself because we don't have image trace on here. That is something I would love to see them add, but I'm gonna do the different colors and stuff. Maybe I'll use compound paths, maybe I won't. We'll see how adventurous I'm feeling. But I'm thinking maybe orange, because if you have taken part in my Adobe Illustrator course, you'll know that I created like a mock brief thingy, and basically Happy Home is like a cute little indie homeware bits and bobs brand, and it has its own shop. So I feel like orange would be a nice colour. Oh, we do have smart guides on, cool. I want my stroke to be thicker. Aha, it's there. So we can up the stroke, and then I'm basically just going to copy and paste a load of circles, I think. I feel like there's probably an easier way of me doing this, but I'm just going to do it like this for now. So I want this one, I want like a little bit of a gap, and I'm going to flip it to fill, and I don't want an outline. So you can disappear. I think I do need to make these circles a bit bigger. I love this little thing here. It's effectively like a right click button, and I really like that. I feel like that makes things so much easier, and I'm already sort of falling into using it without thinking about it too much. So this is going okay so far. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. Maybe I shouldn't have doubted myself all along. Then I'm going to copy again. So duplicate, change the size, and I want it to be in white. So I'm actually quite impressed with this so far. I'm gonna use this white circle to sort of create this circle in here. I feel like I'd probably use like a compound path if I did it on my laptop, but I'm not quite sure how they work on here. So I don't know, maybe, shall I give it a go? Object, clipping mask, compound path. Oh, I have it. Cool. Well, that's just solved my problem. So now effectively I've just cut a circle out of that orange circle without making any permanent decisions. So if I want to change my mind and scrap that idea completely, I can. Let's just change the size of this. It's a little bit off. Okay, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this bit because I want it to be cut out. Okay, so I am now on Google and I'm going to roughly tray one of the existing designs. I really like this one actually. That's literally the first one that came up. I'm going to go for that one. So let's save that. I wonder if I can copy and paste. Copy image and paste. Yes, another plus point from me. And what we'll do is we'll drag it down so it's underneath that, and I'm gonna attempt to sort of make it my own. Now, obviously, we don't condone directly copying artwork. That's not okay. People have copyright. But you are allowed, and it is completely fine to take inspiration. Now, basically what I'm going to do is, firstly I want to change the opacity of this layer. I'm just going to use this as a bit of a reference, so I've got something to work from. And then I'm going to fully sort of just make it up and see how I go. So I'm going to need the pen tool, and this is all straight lines, so I figured we'll just keep clicking and see what happens. Or I could use the shape builder. We'll see. So firstly, I'm going to just do this line, and I need it to have a stroke. Let's put the stroke on, I guess put it on the orange, so it's all matching, and we'll up the stroke too. Okay, and let's just get drawing. Ooh, I want to like stop that and make a new path. No, I don't want to join it on. Okay, how am I going to stop that from automatically picking it up from here? Found a hurdle. Maybe I just have to create a new layer? No, because it's not a new layer, is it? Like, it wants me to join things up. Oh, it stopped doing that now. That was weird. All the strokes aren't the right colour, but we'll ignore it. Then let's go to the shape builder tool, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool to draw the house. Then the triangle tool, and then I'll budge that into play. Ooh. Change tools, I was in a ruckus. Align, we want to align to center. Did that do anything? No one knows. And I want to shape builder. So shape builder literally just joins them together. So I want these together, please. Thank you very much. And then I want them to be filled in orange, like so. Okay, now we're gonna detour. I'm gonna get rid of the little layer, or I'll just hide it for now, and we're just going to make things up. Ooh, I need to turn that path that's underneath. I need to put that in actual colour because we can't currently see it. Oh, I forgot about this. You know, if you use Procreate, you'll know this. You know, when you press the eyedropper tool, so right now it's in white, I want it to be in orange. So I press for the eyedropper, and on Procreate you can just click the colour, so I don't have to drag this thing up there. I just click it. But on Illustrator, you can't. So I always end up getting rid of the eyedropper, and it kept winding me up. A very simple issue to have, but an issue nonetheless. It still wound me up a lot. Okay, so this is kind of difficult. I've not really thought this through. Happy home, design interiors. To be fair, when I did the course on Illustrator, I actually created a little icon thing, so I could have just stolen that, but alas, I like to make my life difficult. But I suppose it's probably good, me showing this from start to finish. This is pretty fluid actually, I'm getting more used to it. Maybe I'm just stubborn, maybe I just don't like change. I feel like that's the case. I like the addition of these lines underneath, I feel like it adds something. And then I'm going to cap the ends. I actually want to round the corners on the house a tiny bit so it's a little softer. Cool. I didn't want it to round these ones, so maybe I just want this one rounding. I just want you. No, I don't want the whole thing. Maybe I use this tool? No, it's definitely the direct selection tool. And usually on Illustrator on the computer, you press here. That's annoying. Does anyone know what I'm doing wrong here? See, when I try and press it like that, it just deselects it, but it doesn't let me just click one. I don't know. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so I am going to do the little smiley face thing. So again, pen tool, and you don't just have to do straight lines on the pen tool. You can click and then click and drag, and it will create curved lines too. I probably should have put my guides on for this. And I actually really like designing logos in a circle. I feel like it just sort of translates really well no matter where you put it, especially because like social media icons and stuff are generally in circles on like Instagram and stuff. So having like a circle logo, whether that's your main logo or not, it is pretty good to have the option to have a circle logo, if that makes sense. So if you want to learn how to do circular logos, best practices, anything like that, I actually have an amazing website to tell you about. You guys know about them. It's Skillshare. If you want to design logos professionally and expand your skill set, then Skillshare is for you. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers a membership with meaning. I've spoken about Skillshare a lot, but on there you can learn a whole variety of different things. So along with logo design and graphic design, you can learn so many different things like entrepreneurship, flower arranging, literally anything you can think of. I've recently been watching a video by Aaron Draplin, and it's all about circular logo design. Skillshare have actually also given me a link where the first 1,000 of you guys can get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So if you're wanting to give Skillshare a go, if something that you see tickles your fancy, then click through to that link in my description and check out Skillshare for yourself. Anyway, back to designing. I want this stroke colour to be white, please. And I want the fill to be nothing, that's right. And the stroke width to be pretty high. Why can't I see anything? Are you hiding under a layer? Oh, it's hiding under the house. That would make sense. So this is my little smile. Again, if you watched my Illustrator course, you'll know that I sort of went with this kind of vibe. If you haven't seen my Adobe Illustrator course, it will always be linked in my description of my videos. That smile isn't my favourite. Let's just, oh god, this is the issue with having it on a touchscreen. If you're clumsy and fat-fingered like me, you'll probably press the wrong thing. But yeah, we can adjust these little sliders. And because I've got the snap grid on, let me just show you that again. You can see that it's lining things up. See those pink lines? So it's sort of guesstimating where I should put them. Although I could also turn on the grid, which I think was here, snap to grid, and you can turn on an actual grid. Okay, let's leave that smile like that for now because I could fiddle with that forever, and I don't think it's actually going to look like the other one without me actually looking at the logo I created. I like this slider. This is cool. You can type in the size or you can drag it up and down. I like that. Okay, so we have a little logo. I think I'm going to add established underneath it. So text tool. It worked. I don't have faith in this tool anymore since at the beginning it didn't want to work. So we're going to go with EST. Let's go with 2003. Don't know why, but we'll go with it. Change the size. Put that directly underneath. I'm enjoying that the snap things are literally telling me where to put it effectively. It's directly in the center. Maybe a little bit smaller like that. And I want it to be orange. So we use eyedropper. Of course I could use a bunch of different colours, but for now I'm just going to stick to orange just for the purpose of this video. Maybe at some point I'll come back and revisit it. Shall we try and do this bit? I feel like that's going to finish it off. I could do these little like lines coming out too, but I feel like the most interesting part is probably going to be me trying to do this thing. So let's copy one of the circles again. Let's duplicate you. Let's make you a little bit smaller. I want you to be white fill and no stroke. I think I need to release that compound path. So let's release you, release compound path. What I basically ended up doing was cutting out that shape from one of the circles and then layering on top this white circle with an orange outline. I would go into detail with it, but honestly my brain's a little bit confused still. So just know that I managed to do it and it didn't drive me too insane. Adobe Illustrator for the iPad is actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do to finish off is I'm going to sort of replicate this sunburst style thing. I'm just going to imitate these lines, I think, and then I'll copy and paste it over to my own rather than trying to figure out like distances myself. Basically, a little bit lazy. So I'm just going to keep doing this and then I will get back to you once I've drawn these. Okay, so I have added those starburst things, whatever you want to call them. Starburst? Oh my god, I love starburst. Okay, remember those sweets? I'm just going to add a stroke to the outside of this house. And I want it on the outside of the path. And I want it a little bit thicker. Cool. So that's basically chopping out a bit of those lines so it's not overlapping it too much. You see what I mean? It's sort of got rid of the outlines, and then I actually want to select this line here, make it a little bit longer. In fact, I could probably get rid of that too and just keep it as like a starburst thing. Starburst, lol. It's going to make me laugh every time now. Easily amused, I know. And then we can actually go into these groups. So I grouped all these little starburst things up by just using this, and I can go to the eraser tool and erase little parts of it. So I'm going to erase the bits that overlap here. Now this tool I like a lot, no complaints here for this one. And what I'm going to do is just erase little bits like they have done in the example that we're using. So just gives it a bit of dimension, something a little bit different like that. And then if I deselect all of that, if it lets me, there we go, you can sort of see the vibes I'm going for. Now, I am going to leave this video here. This isn't the best logo I've ever done. I feel like, I mean, as you can see, there's room for improvement. I definitely don't have the level of patience for this app as I would doing it on my laptop. There are a few reasons why. Firstly, there aren't as many tools on it, so it's kind of difficult. Secondly, I'm stubborn and I don't like learning new things. And finally, it's just not as fluid. I do like it for many reasons, but like I did mention at the beginning, I feel like it's much better for starting off a design rather than completing a design from start to finish. Although if you don't have Illustrator for your Mac and you have it for your iPad, I'm sure there's like a workaround. I'm sure you'll have a lot more patience than I do. So that is it for me attempting to design a logo with Adobe Illustrator for the iPad. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out Skillshare, this week's video sponsor. Thank you so much, Skillshare, again for supporting me and my channel. And I guess I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!